to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We are live from the studios in Long Beach through radiocentroamerica.com and lmbroots.com radio in New York. Every Wednesday from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We bring to you the best of recording artists, musicians, producers, and musical directors behind Garifuna Music. So welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga and enjoy my show tonight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We are live and direct from the studios in Long Beach, California, every Wednesday. And tonight we have a very, very special guest as every Wednesday. Tonight is the 27th of May, 2015. And let me read a little bit about Miss Raquel or Rachel Battle. She's a magnificent woman, a leader, somebody who has been working towards the good of the people, not only in Belize, but also in the United States. So Miss Raquel Battle is the president and founder and CEO of the Blissfulsage Foundation. She's expected to graduate from Walden University in 2015 with a PhD in health services from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Of course, the University of Walden in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Miss Raquel Battle, in birth order, she is the 10th of 11 children born in Belize, Central America. Her father is Edlin Leslie Sr, who made his living as a fisherman along the second largest barrier reef in the world. Her mother, Sonia Leslie, is a homemaker, a spiritual leader in the village of Placencia, located in Southern Belize. This is a beautiful bio. I want you to take a look at the bio. It's right on my profile page on Facebook as Rony, R-O-N-Y, Figueroa, F-I-G-U-E-R-O-A. Request to be my friend, and I will gladly accept it so you could actually see all of the information that we post in regards to our guests every Wednesday. So, Miss Nadia Battle is a woman of principles, a woman of success because of the hard work that she has put in, not only back in Belize, growing up in Dangriga, but also right here in the United States. So let's welcome, without any more pomp and circumstance, Miss Raquel Battle. Welcome tonight, Miss Raquel Battle.
Thank you so much for having me, Ronnie.
I am glad and I'm so lucky to have you, and thank you for accepting the invitation to be in my show. It's a weekly show every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's called Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga, and we are live on the West Coast on Radio Centroamerica and on the East Coast through LMB Roots.com radio, but we're worldwide. People listen to us all the way from Trinidad and Tobago to Belize to Nicaragua to every part and every state and every big city in the United States where there is Central Americans. How is that?
Wonderful. Sounds
beautiful.
Wonderful.
So, Ms. Raquel Battle, tell us where you were born, please.
Well, I was born in the village of Placencia. It's a small village in the southern region. Mm-hmm. Located near St. Bite Village, Independent Village, on the Caribbean coast. And I had 11 siblings.
Wow, big
family. Big
yes.
family, yes.
Well, tell us about your most memorable moments growing up in southern part of Belize.
Oh, gosh. Growing up, my dad was a fisherman. My dad passed in 2007 from prostate cancer. And we used to go out every summer on my dad's island. We had a small island. Well, we still have a small island, Buttonwood Key. And we would spend our summers there fishing, and he would take us out fishing and cooking and just having fun with the family. I think that's what I remember the most in Placencia and as a child. But as I grew up, I spent a lot of time in Dangriga. I went to high school, my last 2 years of high school in Dangriga, which was a really wonderful experience for me. I think I really started, at that point in my life, I felt a real sense of community, I think for the first time. And I spent a lot of time immersed in the culture, and attending many functions, such as Dugu and the Baluria, and become enculturated. So I think those were the times that I remember, and had the most meaningful impact on my life.
Excellent, beautiful. I envy you because I know that Belize is such a beautiful country. From every
Mm,
corner and every village in Belize is beautiful. It's full of life.
mm,
Tourism is big in every island in Belize, and every small part of the Keys as well. And so, I just imagine how beautiful it would have been for me growing up in Belize. However, I
yes.
was born in Guatemala, and I was not even close
Okay.
to the ocean. I was far away from the ocean, but I spent a lot of time living in the Pacific Ocean and on the Caribbean side as well.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Beautiful.
so tell me about your parents. Were your parents very strict, or was your grandmother
Well,
stricter?
yeah, but my mom was very strict. By sunset, you had to be in the house. Um, my dad was more lighthearted. You know, he was very funny. He had a wonderful sense of humor. But my mom was definitely the disciplinarian in the home.
I see, I see. Yes, your father, very handsome young man in one of the pictures that I will be posting and
Yes,
sharing with the audience. Very handsome man in Belize.
yes, he was very handsome. That I definitely must say, and I think that the way he treated everyone, really spoke to his character and the kind of person that he was, strength in character, and but also very gentle and caring. So those are some of the things that, of course, I carry with me as I remember him and all the wonderful work he has done in our community.
Yes, beautiful. And Miss Battle, tell us about your coming to the States. How was your transition? I wonder because I know of a lot. It's fascinating for me to hear, not only from my own experience, but listening to other people who travel from Central America for many reasons towards the United States. And what was your dream and your trip like coming from Belize?
Mm. You know, it's interesting you should ask that question. When I really struggled because I felt when I came to the U.S., I initially visited in 1988, and then I came back in 1995, end of
Oh,
95, got married in 96. But one of the things, and I did spend some time in California for about 3 years. But the struggle I think I had when I came out, I got married to someone that was a U.S. citizen. But for me, I felt like I was giving up I had to give up my Belizean citizenship.
what?
Um, and yes, because I had to make a decision whether I was going to become a U.S. citizen or not.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that was the struggle for me because I felt at that time, of course, that was about 20 years ago, that
Yes,
I
yes.
was, that I was going to give up my Belizean citizenship. But it was not, and I resisted for a few years. Even after I had children, I remember we traveled to South Africa for a honeymoon, and I remember standing there thinking we had to leave the country because we were there for over a month, and we had to leave the country. Went to Lesotho to visit the U.S. ambassador at the time, Vincent Myrick, and crossing that border, my husband was able to get through. I had my Belizean passport because I
Ah.
resisted. I said, I am not going to, give up my Belizean citizenship. So I stood on the other side, and so I had this Belizean passport, and they were looking at it saying, well, where is this? And then I stood there for a moment, and I thought, okay, we're going to have children one day. And, this is going to be quite a predicament. But anyway, that's just a minor thing. But that, for me, I think was a pivotal time that I felt like, okay, I need to make a decision. But then I learned, and what helped me to make the decision was that when you acquire your U.S. citizenship as a Belizean, you will have dual citizenship. And so I didn't have to give up my
Right.
Belizean
You're,
citizenship.
yes, okay.
Yeah, so that was a learning experience for me. You live and you learn. So 20 years ago that, I made that decision. And so after that, things flowed smoothly.
Yes.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I love listening to these kind of stories, the struggles that we face adapting to this country and still holding on to our values, the things that we grew up with. It's so difficult, So let's move on. Your foundation as a successful entrepreneur, wife, mother, and a professional that you are, who or whom do you owe it to?
Gosh, so many people have impacted my life along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I do, I used to give away all the credit to others, but what I would urge people to do, those that are listening that have been on those long, hard journey trying to accomplish something in their life,
Mm-hmm.
don't forget to give yourself credit for your hard work.
That is true.
And also credit those that have supported you along the way. And as I recall, my mom had 11 children. When it was my turn to go, I was number 10 of 11.
Wow.
And my oldest sister, Eloise, I think it was a little complicated because my oldest sister was in high school in Dangriga,
Mm-hmm.
in age 13, and she was in an accident and she was killed.
Oh my God.
And so that, along with many other kids in the high school,
Oh my God.
were killed in that accident going to school. And that really changed my mom's outlook on sending her children away to school.
Oh, wow.
So you really had to fight to get the opportunity to get away to go to school, as you would imagine any parent losing their first child.
Oh, yes.
So and she was the oldest girl. I was the youngest girl.
Oh, wow.
And number 10 in the lineup of 11 children. And so what happened was, not only that, but the financial responsibility was huge. I think it was about $35 to leave a month, which is like half of that U.S. dollars. But at that time, that was a lot of money.
Yes, indeed.
And my parents really couldn't afford to send me to high school. So I really do owe, there was a priest that lived in our village from North Carolina at the time, who would have known I would have ended up in North Carolina, right? But
in Placencia, right? In
yeah,
Placencia village.
and so he, Father Grant Fomsby, and what he did was when he was leaving, his term was over in Belize, and as he was leaving, he said that he would sponsor some of the kids to go to high school.
Oh, wow.
And of course, my dad and mom being as proud as they were, they did not want to ask. And other kids got scholarship, and I did very well in school. And so I asked my mom if she would ask. No, she would not ask. So anyway, after some time, I asked her, I really persisted, and she ended up submitting my name, and I got a scholarship. And so I started the school in Belize City. I went to Belize Junior Secondary School, which was 3 years at that time.
Okay.
So I attended that, and JSS number 2, which was a great experience. I still have, lifelong friends, a group of friends from there. And after that, I went to Dangriga, because to finish high school in Dangriga, I had to complete 2 years. So I really went back to third form and then fourth form again. So, I took some steps back, but I needed to do that in order to sit the Caribbean exam.
Yes.
And I think that those were really, really instrumental times in my life. But the people that helped, and then Father Fomsby, passed away. And then my teacher, who was my third grade, fourth grade teacher in Belize, as as a child growing up, just remembered that I was a good student.
Wow.
And, right around that time, she offered to support for me to finish high school. And along with one of my brothers, they helped for me to finish, my brother Bryce helped me to finish high school. And my sister Bernadette, everybody supported. And I was able to finish. And completed high school in Dangriga.
Excellent.
And yeah.
Well, for
But
those
then,
of
of course,
us,
high school, I'm fast speaking of the high school experience as if that's the only experience, but that really is the foundation. But those people, and of course, when I came to the U.S., I pursued my bachelor's degree at Sewanee, which is the University of the South. It's a private liberal arts college. And of course, my husband is a wonderful, wonderful supporter of everything that I do. I'm very blessed. And then, I did my master's degree in special education and graduated Summa Cum Laude from North Carolina Central University.
Wow.
And that was, I was able to do that as a result of the scholarship that I earned.
Wow, congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Very smart. Now, Ms. Battle, for those of us who are not used to the British system, when you say third form and fourth form, what are we talking about?
Okay, yes, you're right. So when we say junior high, okay, so junior high school we call junior high school is middle school here.
Okay.
And then what we call high school is also high school here in the U.S.
Okay.
I also still get confused with the lower grades with,
Yes.
with fourth and third grade and fifth and sixth, I still get a little confused with those.
Okay, great. So your husband, Michael Battle, is a reverend, right? He is a pastor in the Anglican Church?
Yes, he's a national and international theologian. He is an ordained Episcopal priest. He's also a published author, a speaker, and retreat leader.
Now
he does quite a few things.
He's American. He's not from Belize, right?
Yes, he is an American from Raleigh, North Carolina. He was born in New Orleans.
So how did you find somebody who is Anglican and who is American? I mean, because the Anglican Church is big in Belize, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So how was that connection? How did that happen?
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I believe from 1985 to about 1991, the Anglican Church, or the Anglican Diocese in Belize, had a youth exchange program with the Episcopal Church in North Carolina.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and so we had youth exchange programs. Youth groups from Belize would come to North Carolina and vice versa. I never came to North Carolina because my mom was very strict.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't leave. But when the group came to Belize, Michael was on that trip. And when he came back, actually at the end of the camp, I think hopefully some of your listeners will know one of the most amazing clergy that I've ever met, Father Neil. Lloyd Neal, and he, at the end of the camp, said, and he was so dynamic with young people. Gosh, he knew how to relate to young people and to get us involved in summer camps and all the great programs that we had. But he, at the end of the camp, asked us to exchange contact information with the group from North Carolina.
Okay.
And and that's how we all had each other's contact. But when you meet people, I think right? You married an amazing woman yourself. When you meet someone, right away.
Yes, definitely.
And even though I had no, inkling at all, no idea that I was even going to get married or even thinking about it, when I met Michael, the one thing I remember thinking about is, my goodness, if I ever get married, this is the kind of person I would like to marry. And
Beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow, that is an amazing story. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Miss Raquel Battle. This is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. Raquel Battle is the president, founder, CEO of the Blissfulsage Foundation that is doing wonderful work in the country of Belize and, of course, right here in the United States. She is an accomplished wife, an accomplished professional, and someone who you need to meet. You need to really get together and work, collaborate with her foundation. Now, your husband, Michael, has been very supportive of your organization. How do you find the time to operate the Blissfulsage Foundation, to be a wife, to be a mother, and work as a behavioral specialist with children with special needs? My goodness.
Yes. Earlier when you started speaking, you said a successful mother and wife, and I think those are the most important things.
Yes.
I think that if you're able to manage your balance your life in a way that you give of yourself to those that are dearest to you, you'll have enough to give to others. And I feel like the way the foundation was established, and I'm sure you're going to get into that later, but when my dad, the Belize branch was established, when my dad passed in 2007, he lived with me, with my family in Alexandria, Virginia. So he was in our lives. He was an active part of our lives and our family and around the children. So when he passed away, it was a natural transition for our kids to see that, you honor your parents. And that's one of the things. My dad's dying wish was to have a hospice built in Belize. He experienced hospice care through Capital Hospice of Northern Virginia. Mm-hmm. And based on that, in Belize, we didn't have the cancer center at that time.
Right.
In 2007. And he had to travel to Merida by bus.
Mexico,
to
yes.
the border, and Merida, yes. And then he would travel back. We didn't have flights like we do now to Merida.
Wow.
And so that was very difficult for him. And he was in his final stages. And finally, he came to here for the 50th wedding anniversary that I hosted in Alexandria, Virginia, my parents. And it was through that experience that he wanted to see a hospice built in Belize, because he said so many of my friends have the same symptoms. And he was misdiagnosed. He went to the doctor. Wow. They told him he had a bladder infection.
Oh, my God.
He was passing blood. And, this is, there's something wrong here.
Yes.
So anyway, we got further tests once we got here. That was about 2003. But my kids were a part of his life. He was a part of their life. And so after he passed, and you may have noted that we were doing work with Care Belize and with children with special needs, and doing a lot of different cultural things as well as building bathrooms for the children at Gulisi and supporting, the feeding program and all of those things. Well, we decided that we needed to focus on one main initiative. And, of course, it was a natural transition to focus on the care for cancer patients,
yes,
as well as other terminally ill patients.
Well, let me say something. Let me say something, Ms. Battle, and this is probably something that you would probably agree with me, but what has taken the government of Belize so long to do? We're talking about 1981, independence of Belize, 2003, and Belize did not have a cancer center. And for people like Belizeans abroad to have to come and give back to Belize instead of the government taking the lead, I don't understand that.
Well, 2007, Belize didn't have a cancer center.
Ouch.
It was established in 2007, 2008 officially.
Wow.
And, one of the things that really prevents, as I went through this and tried to present to the government, the Ministry of Health in particular, a needs assessment for a hospice in Belize, an end-of-life care program. The Cancer Center was established co-founded by Dr. Grant and
Right.
Pascasio.
He actually has his clinic right here.
Amazing
Beach.
accomplishment.
Yes.
And I think is a wonderful example of what we can do as a people.
Yes.
And one of the things that is a natural transition from the Cancer Center is the establishment of a hospice program, which would provide support for patients who are no longer able to benefit from chemotherapy. And so it has taken a really long time. We have a lot of people offering a lot of help in a lot of different ways. I think it needs to be strategic. It needs to be aligned with the mission and vision of the Ministry of Health, and it needs to be reciprocated by the Ministry of Health, not only in words, but also in action.
Wow.
It has been years. It has been years that we have tried to collaborate with the Ministry of Health. And we have had an MOU with the Ministry of Health for almost 4 years for one nurse to support our program. And, in spite of the persistence, we're still in limbo. But one of the things is I think we need strategic and collaborative partnerships. We cannot be divisive, and sometimes we shoot ourselves in our own foot, because instead of working together with like-minded organizations or individuals who may like the support, we end up competing for minimal resources that we have.
Wow.
So I think
point.
Regionalizing a program, having policies in place to manage under which we can function effectively and efficiently to do the work that we need to do, those things need to be in place.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to start, you have to start somewhere.
Wow, Raquel,
And
I know where to start. I know where to start. I think we're going to have a real talk with the governor of Belize and maybe appoint you as part of the Minister of Health. Somehow you have the know-how, you have the education, you're working towards your PhD, which will probably come around at the end of 2015. And so we need people like you to go back and give back not only with the knowledge, but you make this happen. You have good connections in the United States of America, and I am sure you have connections in many other parts of the world, and make things happen more easily. But then when we think about political lines, when you have to be aligned with a political party, I think it kills the purpose.
Absolutely, and I think, operating a nonprofit organization, we serve the people, regardless of their political affiliation. And it's really unfortunate that we don't do more for the people who are dying and suffering. Yes. But we're going to get there. I recall in my first year or so, as we were on the Love FM TV station talking about the need for this hospice care. One of the questions that was asked was, how do we know this is not going to just be one of those programs that you will end up, like other organizations, leaving on the government to manage? Well, first of all, I think you need to look at the intention and motivation behind the people that are establishing these programs.
Yes.
When you find someone that's establishing a program and deeply indebted and deeply committed to the cause, you don't take that lightly, and you don't take that for granted. I mean, for me, how can I explain to you that I'm not going to do that? I can only show you. And I think from 2007 to 2015, if you haven't seen that I have not given up, and I will not give up.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you something.
Oh, no,
The only missing link for us to establish a hospice in Belize are the finances. We have been blessed to have Belize Bank on board supporting us.
Wow.
They were our first big donors of 50,000 Belize dollars. And then we have businesses like Tips to Tuna in Placencia Village. We've established strategic partnerships with Love Foundation, who really support us with our advertising for our events.
Wow.
And we hope that it will work out to be more than that. We have a strategic partnership with the Anglican Diocese of Belize. My husband and I have purchased 6 acres on the Dangriga Road right outside GAHFU School.
Yes.
Mile 2.5. And we have donated an acre of that property for the hospice. We tried for 5 years to get a piece of property from the government, but to no avail. We ended up purchasing, and we donated an acre, and then using the rest as a resource to help to fund the hospice and sometime in the future, and support our meal program for our patients.
Great job.
So it's a lot. There are many different components to it. But I also would like to say, for anyone who has started an organization and may feel a bit frustrated, or may feel like they have to depend on the government, or, just to, sometimes we start with really big dreams. I mean, the plan I had was huge, but you have to step back. And so in 2010, we started with an office in Dangriga. City of Hope, the End of Life Nursing Education Consortium Training Program. Dr. Raquel Battle came down with a team and trained 50 medical professionals in support of Blissfulsage Foundation. That was a partnership with the ministry, and that was a successful partnership to be able to accomplish that. So there are many successes along the way that really, gives us that ray of hope. And we were able to open our doors in 2011 in Dangriga, and we provided home care. We've had about 3 nurses part-time, and serving the southern region. We only serve the southern region of Belize because of our capacity and the resources, our limited resources. And we prefer to have a small quality program than to have a large scope and not able to meet the needs successfully.
Very good.
And with quality and dignified, compassionate care.
Very good.
So one of the things that we've done is we've used the first 3 years up until the September of 2014 as a part of our needs assessment, because the ultimate goal for Blissfulsage Foundation is to build a residential facility.
Wow. Excellent. That is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We have on the line Ms. Raquel Battle, who is the president, founder, CEO of the Blissfulsage Foundation. Her foundation supports cancer patients and other terminally ill patients in Belize, but the fundraising takes place in the United States as well as in Belize, where she's also creating awareness, cancer awareness here in the United States. So congratulations to you, Ms. Battle. It's a wonderful work, and it's labor of love. It's a lot to give, and really, like you said, sometimes you have to step back because it's so much, is overwhelming. But congratulations to you, your husband, and of course the people that are always collaborating with you, the many organizations, including us, GAHFU. At one point we were able to get some donations, and you made it possible to be delivered to Belize, or something like that. I think it was some medical donations that we were able to secure at one point.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So
You have a good memory.
Well, yeah, I do my research here. So congratulations to our listeners who are tuned in tonight. Don Julian listening in New York, where we have a large listening audience through lmbroots.com. And also Don Julian happens to have a radio show live twice a week. Look him up as Don Julian. So what are the needs in Belize right now, Ms. Raquel Battle? What is your organization focused on, and what project specifically? I know you already mentioned a lot of things, but what are the basic needs right now in Belize?
I think I heard your question correctly. Right now, we're organizing our, or preparing for our 9th annual Battle Cancer Walk. It's the Edlin Leslie Sr. Battle Cancer 5 Mile. It's a run walk, and it's on Friday, June 19th in Placencia Village. That is the weekend of Lobster Festival in Placencia, which runs the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And it starts in the village of Sewanee, which is 5 miles up the beach, and it ends in Placencia Village at the Placencia Pier this year. We usually stop at the at Tuna. That's usually our end point and or end of the walk. But this year, the call from the village council wanting to use the pier for more activities, we decided that it would be a great thing to do to support the village council in utilizing the pier a little more. I mean, it's so beautiful. You know, it's a new pier, and it's really nice. So we're looking forward to that.
Now,
go ahead.
You have created a page, an event page on Facebook for those people who want to sign up and join. I want you to tell us that you don't need to be in Belize to be able to participate. Tell us how that could happen for the people who want to contribute.
Sure. We have our page called Blissfulsage Foundation, and there's also a Raquel Battle CGIU commitment page, which is a page that when I attended the Clinton Global Initiative University, the commitment was to build this hospice in Belize. So I have those two pages. I have my personal page, but you may not be interested in that. And you go to the Blissfulsage and then the Raquel Battle CGIU page, and I have both events bright links there, and I'll also give those to you, Ronnie, if you'd like to share.
Yes.
For the actual walk, and then there's a link for the virtual walk. And let me tell you how the virtual walk works.
Yes, please.
If you haven't done it before. The virtual walk, you can walk anywhere you are in the U.S., in the world. And you can register, make sure you put in your mailing information and your contact information, other contacts, and we will mail your medal and your T-shirt to you, okay? But it will come after the walk. You can take a picture in your T-shirt and your medal once you receive it, and you can post it on our Facebook pages once you've joined.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and we'd love to know where you did your 5 mile walk. And you can post your picture from there, and you can say supporting battle cancer from Bronx, New York, or Brooklyn, New York, or California, or anywhere you are.
That is a great idea. I love it. Very innovative. Never heard anything like that, but it's beautiful. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 9th annual Edlin Leslie Sr. Battle Cancer 5 mile run walk. It starts in the village of Sewanee in Southern Belize, and it ends in Placencia. Of course, it's going to be on Friday, June 19th, 5:30 in the morning for those of you. Friday, June 19th, 5:30 in the morning, and it's going to end in Placencia Pier at Placencia Point. Adult cost is $40 Belize dollars, and for kids is $25 Belize dollars. And all this money is going towards. Tell us where the money is going, Ms. Rachel.
So. And I also want to add, the virtual walk is $30. And the actual walk is $20. And yes, the proceeds go directly to support the hospice building project. Now, the another thing I wanted to mention was on the weekend of the walk, we have, and I'm sorry, those people who are participating in the virtual walk won't be able to take advantage of this, but we also support, and the money also helps to support a free cancer awareness screening program.
Wow.
So anyone who gets come and to the clinic they can get a free cervical screening, free PSA test, and Dr. Jorge Lopez Granja, which I didn't mention earlier, and then Shalimar Villas. Those are some of our biggest sponsors, and Ian Anderson's Case Branch. But Dr. Jorge Lopez is a dermatologist. It's from Belize City. In Belize City, he works up at okay, I'm not going to say, I may say the wrong thing. But
no
anyway,
problem.
he comes down and he conducts the free skin cancer screenings for us as well. Belize Medical Associates.
I see. Wow.
Belize Medical Associates.
And that was basically my next question, but I think you already are expanding on it. I wanted to know the several organizations in Belize and in the United States that you are working with or have provided services to or established some type of partnership with. So can you mention some of them that you already mentioned again?
Yes, absolutely. We have the Belize Cancer Center, Dangriga, Love Foundation, Belize, Anglican Diocese of Belize, Dr. Jorge Lopez Granja, Dermatology, Tipsy Tuna, Sports Bar in Placencia, the Placencia Rotary Club. They are amazing support every year. They help us to raise funds for the children in St. Vite and Placencia and surrounding villages to participate in the walk. And then we have Belize Bank, we have Shalimar Villas, and Ian Anderson's Case Branch. But we also have many other sponsors like Splash Dive Shop. We have, again, the Cancer Center in Dangriga. We have El Garobo, which is Walden Market Enterprise.
Wow.
So many, and I'm gonna stop there again and make sure I give you all the sponsors.
No, definitely. It is important to know because to put up a type of event of this magnitude, you do need this type of partnership. And go ahead, continue.
Absolutely.
You had something to say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now what you wanted for me to do was to list the partnerships.
Yes.
Now, I will also mention that the partnerships, there are those that support the event, and then there are the long-term, the partnerships, that strategic partnerships, such as the Anglican Diocese Love Foundation, that really form the real foundation of how we're able to get the word out and get volunteer support in. And one of the things that we're working on with the Anglican Diocese of Belize is to establish a clergy volunteer network. So we would have a volunteer network for clergy, and that is, we already have a liaison from the Anglican Diocese of Belize, Elizabeth Fullock. She's from Houston, an ordained deacon, and she will be moving to Belize and running that program for us and getting that set up. A wonderful partnership we have also is City of Hope. And those from the Massive Cancer Center in Richmond, Virginia. And we also have support from the executive medical director of Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Wow.
So
excellent.
we have some wonderful supporters. Like I said, the only thing missing now are the funds. Now, what I don't want to forget, and I'm going to say this now, those people that are helping us and supporting us and keeping this whole thing going. Wade Vivier, who works for LEED certification, LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and Mr. James Esquivel, who's an architect, and Simon Richmond. James is from Belize. Wade spent some time in Belize. Simon Richmond, he's from Jamaica, lives in North Carolina. And they are really that team around getting our structural side about that. And once established, we would be the first LEED certified building in the country of Belize.
Wow.
So we're really excited, looking forward to that, and keep working on the funding. I just saw on the news tonight that Belize just got $5 million from Taiwan.
Maybe
right? Maybe this time.
There you go. I like that move. So Belize, wake up.
Wrong with hoping.
Yes. So with that in mind, I hope the Belize government is instrumental in helping you with this big project that you have in your hands. And I understand that you volunteer for 3 years at the Belize Cancer Center in Dangriga, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us your experience.
Oh, gosh. I'm so proud of all the work that is being done at the Cancer Center. I've seen where some patients came in, after traveling so many hours to Mexico, spending all of their money, and they would come to the Cancer Center needing service and didn't have a dime in their pocket. And no one was ever turned away.
Oh, beautiful.
No one was ever turned away.
Wow.
And I think if there's anyone out there looking for an amazing project to support, that is one of them.
Bless your heart.
It is, Dr. Grant, Dr. Delon Pastasio, but Nurse Obi is just phenomenal. And she is there day in and day out supporting the patients and their families. And I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful program to have in Belize, and really serving the people, given the space, given the capacity, given the number of patients with cancer in the country of Belize.
Wow.
And still able to keep things going is just, I'm just beyond words.
Yes, Raquel.
I also spent that 3 years. Compiling the data at the Cancer Center, and that formed the needs assessment for the establishment of the hospice.
Oh.
Because that was the data I was able to take to the Ministry of Health, the CEO, both Dr. Pitts and Dr. Allen, and presented to them, and to show the prevalence of cancer in the country of Belize. But even with that, Ronnie, they could not justify having a hospice in Belize.
Oh, my goodness.
Because we do not have a national cancer registry in the country. And so, I was able to justify based on we have a diabetic registry, and we have HIV and AIDS. And those people need care too.
Of course.
So that really, end of life. And so that really was what took us over, to that approval phase of moving forward with the hospice, because we were able to justify based on those patients. Wow. And still include cancer patients.
Wow.
So,
amazing.
Again, it's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape to go through, but I still encourage anyone that if you're doing anything in the health field to work with the Ministry of Health. We will have a breakthrough.
Eventually,
we just have to continue work at it, because it really is the only way to be able, once they're able to get data that they need, and get support that is needed to justify funding, then the funding will come in. Because if we continue to have these ad hoc groups going into the villages without consulting with the ministry and getting approval, and then having that feedback stream of of data coming back to the ministry, we lose all of that. And it weakens the system because the ministry is not able to use that data. We've lost it.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so it needs to be funneled back. There needs to be that channel. And these NGOs like Blissfulsage and the Palliative Care Association and others, and we know, well, the Campus Societies work very closely with the Ministry of Health. But still, I mean, we all need to do that. We all need to push our data back into a centralized location. And I think that's what's missing.
Wow. Excellent work there. One question that came to my mind as you were talking about all these things going on in Belize with cancer, what is the number one problem as far as cancer? Which one is the most prominent?
You know, the prevalence of cervical cancer is extremely, extremely high. You know, it's a sexually transmitted disease. And yes, and so that is one of the cancers that are extremely, extremely prevalent and really is really being addressed by the Belize Cancer Society and its branches. This month in particular, there is an annual screening that takes place throughout the country, and they send the teams to conduct their screenings. So, for example, when we have our screening, they will have already had their screening, but of course there's always some that they don't either they didn't know about that screening or they missed it or they just couldn't, their schedules just didn't allow it, but they're able to catch our screening if they missed those.
Wow. If anybody wants to help, how can people help your Blissfulsage Foundation if they want to donate? To support Blissfulsage Foundation, you can just go to our website, blissfulsagefoundation.org. Please put the foundation. There's another website that will be taken down, which is only blissfulsage.org. But the current and active website is blissfulsagefoundation.org. If they're registering for any of the walk or want to use the link to make a donation to support the walk, they can use any of those links in Eventbrite. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you heard it.
The Facebook pages, which I will be giving to you as well.
Right. I have already linked the page for the walk, the run in the village of Sewanee. So it's going to be on my profile page on Facebook. So look me up under Rony Figueroa, RONY Figueroa, Figueroa. You're able to see the link. Click on it and you could contribute. You could sign up for the run, for the walk in a virtual manner if you're not in Belize, or if you are in Belize, you could join them and pay your $40 or $25 registration fee, $40 for adults and $25 for children. Ms. Battle, what do you hope to accomplish one day with the Blissfulsage Foundation? I know your heart is into this organization. This has been the engine that has catapulted you, that has given you that thrust, to do the things that you have been able to do with the many people that you network with. What do you want to accomplish?
Well, I realize that if I'm going to expect and ask people to be involved and 100% committed. Mm-hmm. I really thought I was 100% committed. But how could you be 100% committed when you're also employed, elsewhere? So yes. I have, as of June 15th, I am going to be fundraising full-time for Blissfulsage Foundation.
Wow.
And working
Congratulations.
For the organization.
Oh, wow. That is great.
So that's going to be a tremendous sacrifice, but it's a necessary one. I think, could you repeat the question?
No, that was it. I think you hit it right on the nail, on the head on nail. But my next question, though, is can you share with us some information in regards to your summit interview series, Healing Through Meaning, please?
Yes. Okay. So healing through meaning, that's a part of my now new employment.
Okay.
Where because it is a part of Blissfulsage Foundation. This is going to be a way to support our patients and friends of our patients and families of our patients and friends of Blissfulsage Foundation, anyone that would like to participate. Healing Through Meaning is an interview series. I have 21 experts that I have interviewed in many different areas. Some are to spirituality, some, and it's really about how to recover, celebrate, and find new meaning in your life after losing a loved one. And we can lose our loved ones in many different ways. We can lose our loved ones through divorce. We can be separated. We can lose the love of our parents and our siblings. We can have the loss of expectation when we hope that we would have normal kids and we realize that they have severe special needs. And we also lose our loved ones to death. And so we have, and we also our environment that we love so much, and then it is being destroyed by irresponsible development. So there's so many different types of loss. And what I'm addressing in these interviews, I'm speaking to different experts. So looking at different perspectives and hoping to bring into perspective the issue of loss and how that can be, how you can have various ways of dealing with loss and recover and find ways to honor those that you love. Many go into depression. Many people go into depression. Many people get suicidal.
Yes.
It's extremely difficult. So these I'm going to have on there psychotherapists. I will have a transformational coach. I have spiritual leaders. I'm drawing a blank here. Also a radio host of Voice America, and a marriage and family therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have Wade Vivier from the USGB, which is the lead certification. I interviewed my husband as well.
Oh, wow.
And his area is on reconciliation and forgiveness and the importance of moving on. He spoke about growing up with a single parent. His father left when he was a little boy. And how do you reconcile that? How do you forgive and move on and live a life of peace and contentment? Wow. So I interviewed a woman, an amazing woman who had 2 children with special needs, and she felt like she had to give up her life to take care of them, and she did. And it was not until she was 50 that she started to live and embrace, her passion and her vision. And she became the first woman in the U.S. to establish a whiskey distillery, Moonshine.
Wow.
It's just amazing stories
Wow.
that we have to share. And I interviewed the executive director of Hagar USA, which is the organization for human trafficking.
Oh, wow.
It's just really, really amazing the stories of healing and meaning that are shared, and strategies and tips. I interviewed Jeff Galloway, who's an Olympian and America's running coach and #1 best-selling author.
Wow. And
he speaks of how, he can get up off the couch and take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And the importance of the body, mind, and spirit.
Wow.
Healing.
Yes.
So a lot. But it's healingthroughmeaning.com. Or you can also go to the same Blissful Sage Foundation Facebook page, and I will also give you the link,
Yes.
Ronnie, to the summit.
Yes.
And we
excellent.
have a Healing Through Meaning Facebook page. So if you just want to if you're interested in the summit itself and the interview series and summit, I'm using interchangeably, you can just request to be added to the Healing Through Meaning Facebook page, and I will add you. And
Okay.
in there, you will find a link that you can sign up for. It's a free interview series.
Wow. Excellent.
You're not paying for any of that.
Excellent. So it's Healing Through
free.
Meaning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Miss Raquel Battle. It's been an excellent time. I think it's been quality of information that we have been able to obtain from you. You are an amazing human being. You are an amazing Belizean. You are an amazing Central American. Women in power. I think we need more women like you to make things happen, really.
Thank you.
Any
Thank
final
you.
thoughts?
And I encourage, sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you for the opportunity, and I encourage anyone, any Belizeans out in the diaspora or any friends of Belize to get involved and give back. I know we hear so many negative stories, and but let's not focus on the negative and just focus on the little bit that you can do. And as our honorary chairman said, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that can change the world.
Wow, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We are here tonight with a wonderful woman, Miss Raquel Battle, who is the president, founder, and CEO of the Blissfulsage Foundation. It is online as blissfulsagefoundation.org. Thank you so much, Miss Battle. We are out of time, and we appreciate the time you gave us. It's been 1 hour, and we are going to upload this interview on our GAHFU channel, the Garifuna American Heritage Foundation United channel, and we will link it up. We'll send it to you tomorrow when it's ready, so you could pass it right along to friends and family and to the network of friends and associates that you have that continue to support the wonderful work that you're doing in Belize. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ayo.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Ayo.
Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We're live and direct from the studios in Long Beach. And that was Miss Raquel Battle from the Blissfulsage Foundation.
Have you ever heard
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We have on the line Michael Flores. Michael Flores, the filmmaker who was just here for the Belize, for the Garifuna International Film Festival that took place in Venice, California. Michael, how are you? Okay, Mike, we're on. gentlemen, we have Michael Flores, straight from Dangriga, Belize, on the line. Hey, Michael, how are you? Hey, Mike. Wow. We have a real bad connection here. Let's try it now. Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Yeah.
All right, good. We could hear you real good now.
Just, as a matter of fact, sorry I missed you in California over the weekend, in Los Angeles over the weekend. It was kind of tight moving around to the Garifuna Film Festival there, and also to the Garifuna Film Awards. All in the weekend, and being able to make that circle and be back home by yesterday, that was.
Man, we were hoping to still catch up with you on Monday. We went to Las Vegas over the weekend. We left on Thursday. We came back on Monday around 3 in the morning. So I was trying to catch up with you. I did not know you were back in Belize already. Wow.
I do these trips basically to fulfill the obligations to the film festivals, particularly supporting this the Garifuna Film Festival International in Los Angeles. I think that it's our responsibility as movie makers, particularly Garifuna movie makers, to support that to the fullest,
Yes, definitely. I think it's important. So tell us what's in the making. What are you working on as a filmmaker?
Okay, we had a movie that previewed at the festival over the weekend, a movie called I Have to Do It, that dealt with the issue of domestic violence, a story about a woman named Helen who was a victim of domestic abuse that took some matters into her hands to free herself from an abusive husband. We did that on a whim of an inspiration as far as trying to create a little product to make ourselves aware as men, and also to help women become aware as far as what they can do and what it sometimes takes to free oneself from violence, But do have a movie that is finished now, a script that is finished, and we're in pre-production. It's called Just a Little Luck. This is going to be one of our biggest movies so far, throughout all the time that we have been producing. It's a story about 3 local fishermen that wanders down the beach fishing one day and stumble across a bale of cocaine floating in the water.
Wow. Wow.
And what happens between them after they found this cocaine? Remember, these are fishermen, and it's a story sort of consistent with some of the things that happen in our communities here, where fishermen go walking down the beach and they stumble across these floating packages of cocaine on our waters, and next thing there's a whole life change around these people because of this luck, as we call it, So
Okay.
We decided to make a movie about it. It's going to be a very good movie. The script I have uploaded on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in reading it, I know you're linked up to that professional network, you could check it out there.
Yes.
We're screening actors right now for that. I'm trying to put together a budget so we could begin to shoot sometime this year before Christmas.
Excellent, man. Great. Can you tell us a little bit about the trip you had to Honduras? I think it was last year, where you went to do a workshop on film.
Last year, I attended again the Garifuna Film Festival, the Garifuna International Film Festival in Los Angeles, and I met a Garifuna woman there by the name of Lina Martinez, who lives in Trujillo. I think she lives in La Ceiba, but she works as far as Trujillo with groups of organizations that are there in Honduras. And, you know, we started talking, and she was telling me that she has an interest, and there is an interest in her community for people who they wanted to learn the art of production. And I know that, you know, for us that Hollywood, it mystifies movie making, you know, and
Yes.
once you break it down and demystify it, then it becomes a process that when you find out, you know, I could do this, you know, if you have the creative will and spirit and interest, you know, it's like, you know, one could say, I could do this. Once you're shown and somebody teaches it to you, again, I say remove the mystique, as we call it, from movie making. I talked to Miss Lena and told her, you know, we can go to Honduras from here and go and teach movie making art there in Trujillo, so much so that when we're done, you guys there would have produced a movie yourself.
Wow.
And she said, what? I said, yes, we can do that. We can do that for you, you know. And once I got back to Belize, I started networking with her, talking to her, setting up dates, and trying to organize a situation where we got some people from as far as Trumfo that came to Trujillo to take these workshops to learn how to make movies. So, you know, the Belize Liberator production crew got itself together, and we went to Trujillo, and we started a workshop there of teaching movie making to the community, and it was fun for us. We enjoyed the process, but most of all, when we were we had produced a short film with the organizations there and Miss Lena together. She's the head of the movement, by the way.
Right.
And
right.
It has been uploaded to YouTube. I think she might have submitted it to the Garifuna Film Festival because I suggested to her that they do. So very nice piece of work on cultural preservation, because that is the issue that they were most concerned about in Trujillo, in Honduras, I guess, in a whole. But they were very, very concerned about cultural preservation. Wow. And found a way to do this, to create a film that reflected their concerns as far as their language, their culture, and the Garifuna cultural preservation in Honduras, because it seems to be a problem of erosion. There's a problem of erosion there, where the new generation of children are moving away from Garifuna Go and embracing more of the urban kinds of Spanish trends and sort of what we call it inferiority, some forms of inferiority complexes because of and that is pushing them to move away from the Garifuna language.
Yes.
So we made a very nice film there with them to express that concern, you know.
Excellent, beautiful. Wow, that is an amazing experience, and bless your heart. How long were you there in Honduras, in Trujillo?
We did 7 days. We were scheduled for 2 weeks, but we did 2 weeks. We just a couple of days of familiarizing ourselves with the community, and 7 straight days of workshops and shooting and editing till the day of our departure. We completed our work on the 7th day, actually, and then on the Sunday we said goodbye to everyone and got the bus back to Guatemala, to Puerto Barrios, and then the boat back to Belize.
Wow.
Again, you know, we tell our people that we're here as a production company. My thing is to try to spread the art of movie making to Garifuna people wherever they may be. Even, I believe, if you live in the United States and you want to come learn movie making here in Belize, you can set that up. You don't have to do it there in the United States. The same programs and whatnot that is used, systems, everything, as a matter of fact, right down to what we would call the Hollywood prescription, because every single movie we made is created from a script. The script is where we start with it, and
Wow.
that is the telling of the story. So we have to have our writers, we have to have our directors, producers, and all of that. And we can teach that. It's a thing that, again, we say we want to demystify the Hollywood notion. Say, oh, we're making movies. Once you get into it, you'll find out that it could be done. We have lots of stories to be told, visual stories. And I know we celebrate our musicians, but there is a bigger thing in the art field out there. Art is an expanded field that visual arts will one day, I think, become the way of telling stories to the extent that people want to see. You know, it's nice to hear, but to see and hear takes it to a different dimension.
No, definitely, definitely. Beautiful, man. Great project. So how was the hospitality in Honduras?
You know, again, we live with in Honduras, the people were very well receptive to anybody. I believe any Garifuna that has the will to want to come and share something that's good for the community.
Wow, excellent.
So we were very well received, and to the local news media, as a matter of fact, came out to our workshop, and we could observe that those people, the professionals, quote unquote, that handle the equipment for those news medias, you know, cameras, lights, etc., when they came in and sat in on our workshop and saw the method that we use to teach what we were teaching our community, they were like fully approving. I mean, they could they could not really believe that it was happening there, but it was happening. So that afternoon, they gave us a very, very good news review in Trujillo as far as the quality of the workshops and the work that was being done. There were a couple other professionals that came from, I think, La Ceiba, as far as La Ceiba, that came out to spend some time with us and really compliment what we were doing, and were sort of maybe not astounded, no, but they have never seen it before, that these kinds of training workshops happening in a community, and we were just doing this free of cost, you know, as far as we were concerned, just teaching movie making to the Garifuna community in Trujillo. As a man, there's one guy, you know, he came over. He's a professional cameraman, as I said, from somewhere, I think in La Ceiba somewhere. He came over and he said, "Man, you know, this is lucky for these people to have somebody like you and this our crew, our team." I have to compliment Raspin, who is our editor here and our videographer. He is an excellent teacher in terms of breaking down the simplicity of shooting, you know, operating a camera, the lighting, and getting the best of your little equipment. We call this thing a guerrilla kind of movie making thing. You know, it's like getting your work done with what tools that you have.
Yes, yes.
You know, we could take any kind of camera and make a movie, like an iPhone. You know, let's go out there and we just put a script in your head together, put a script on some paper, and we start to do these things.
Wow. Michael,
the more we work, the better we get. I would say, you know.
No, definitely. Michael, there is a listener.
You were saying?
There is a couple of listeners who are sending a very special message to you in Livingston, Guatemala. They say, "Sure, we want to make movies with Garifuna fishermen, teenagers. I would like to invite Mr. Michael Flores to come to our Garifuna village here in Guatemala, Livingston, and get in touch with Eva Del Rey. Eva Del Rey has a Garifuna school in Livingston along with her husband, Celso Neri. And that would be a good thing to do, man. You're only a step away, one boat ride away from Labuga, Livingston. So that would be an invitation that I'm going to share with you on your Facebook page, Michael. How's that?
Yes. That's doable. As I said, link with us. We put some times and dates together, organize the thing. Our crew, we're always willing. This is a part of our commitment to our community. That we never just call us, let's do it, organize it, and we're more than willing to go in and teach the movie making process in our communities. And we don't want nothing. We support ourselves to that extent. All we would like is to be guided properly in terms of residents, where to stay, who to stay with, and those people organizing to work, to be very committed to what they do. As in Trujillo, again, Miss Lena, very committed woman. I compliment her because she's on the ball as far as making sure that we had a very nice hotel in the Garifuna community with Garifuna people to stay. We pay our own way, as I say. We're just wanting to share what we know how to do with our community. So organize with us. Give a call, inbox me, whatever, get it together, and then we will come. It's when we say we're coming, we're coming.
Excellent, Michael. That is great. What are some of the things you need in your studio for filmmaking? Maybe people who are listening to the show happen to have extra equipment who could make it available to you guys. What are some of the needs that you have for movie production?
What are some of the
needs that you have as far as equipment? Was? Yeah, equipment, cameras.
Oh, we have like 5 movies that we have produced under our belt. One of them is an award-winning movie. But I started as Chino's story with first production. It's a story of a boy from San Pedro who was convicted of a crime in Belize that he didn't commit. He was convicted of a murder. He was sent to prison and spent a time. He was later on vindicated by the Privy Council. And it's a documentary movie about what he and his family went through during those 7 years that he was locked up in the Belize prison. After that movie, we finished the movie we had started before that called Amina the Powerful. It's a movie I wrote about a woman just taking a walk down the beach and finding herself to come home at the same time and again free herself from an abusive relationship that she was in with this fellow. It's a sort of a commitment we have. We all say that we have to raise the consciousness level of ourselves and our women, so we are always dealing with issues. I look at sexism sort of as a big problem amongst us, the people. We don't really value our women the way we should. I don't know where those come from, but we see it as an issue and decided, well, a lot of the movies, anything that touch or make is going to deal or reflects or handle some issue that needs to be resolved amongst our people to make the quality of our life a lot better, to make also the lives of our women easier and therefore the life of our children easier. A lot of issues that live amongst us, sort of between male and females, have to be resolved to take our life to another level, from where we are. Because I also believe that the Garifuna nation, as we would call it, in Central America, will be Honduras, Guatemala, or Belize, where we're in hell. A lot of people might not want to see that, because we like to cover up stuff. But we're catching hell wherever we are. Everybody knows in Honduras that the lands are being taken away from Garifunas there. We know in Guatemala, the Garifuna male, there's hardly much work for the Garifuna man per se. There is always something for maybe the Garifuna woman, but there's hardly stuff there for the Garifuna man. In Belize, where we live here, our lands are being eroded. We're victims of all kinds of corruption ploys and oppression. But yeah, again, our people are tied up into politics. Our leadership, is nothing to be desired. And I think, again, the art of movie making will allow us to be creative in terms of dealing with our internal issues, our external issues, and our international issues, because as say Rubin goes to court from Honduras to fight for Garifuna lands in Honduras, we will need, I'm sure he also needs all the visual artists that he can get to document those things visually, to give them out to the world, to even make the documentary of that accomplishment to come. We need visual artists to grow within our community.
Definitely.
Hence, again, I say we are committed to sharing what we know how to do to create and develop visual artists, movie makers, editors, camera people, as much as we can create within our community, from Belize to Guatemala to Honduras to Durham, Nicaragua, no?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
I like to congratulate Rubin Reyes for what I saw happen in California over the weekend, which would be the creation of the Garifuna Movie Awards. As Garifuna start making movies throughout the world, as we were saying, and start creating visual materials, it is nice to have a way to compliment and thank them and congratulate them for their works and their achievements. And that award, the Garifuna Awards, will be a nice way to compliment filmmakers, and also maybe give others incentive to get into filmmaking. Say, at the end of the year, there is an organization there in my community that looks to us and say, well, compliments for your work. I urge all our people, it's a new genre as far as where we're saying, okay, yes, we have Garifuna movie makers, but yes, we have Garifuna movie makers. So I urge our people to be conscious of that. We as movie makers would continually like their assistant telling our stories. So I urge our young people to do acting and do drama, to develop their skills in visual arts, so that we could take this thing to another level in telling our stories to the world as Garifuna peoples.
Yes. So what you were saying right now is that Ali Alié and Ruben Reyes were able to receive a Garifuna award from the Garifuna International Film Festival?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Thank you for that information.
My belief is that the Garifuna Film Awards is a separate entity from the Garifuna Film Festival. It will be nice at some point when they come together, and then maybe the festival becomes a way of also having an award ceremony for Garifuna movie makers. But I think at the moment, my take on it is that is the baby work of Ruben Reyes and Ali, and the cast of Garifuna in Peril, by the way. They being the motivators for that whole process, that the people that made the movie, which again Ruben and Ali, finding a way to congratulate their actors and all the people that were involved with the movie. I happened to be there for the Garifuna Film Festival and was able to attend the ceremony, since there were invitations to it that were being sold to interested people. But that is the handiwork for Ruben and Ali, and I congratulate them for that. Our community needs that kind of venue along the way to begin to acknowledge our Garifuna peoples that make movies.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga, live and direct from the studios in Long Beach. And we have on the line Mr. Michael Flores, straight from Dangriga, Belize, who is a filmmaker and who happened to be over the weekend visiting from Dangriga in Los Angeles for the Garifuna International Film Festival. Michael, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. and for allowing us this brief interview, Michael. Aba isen inumada.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you very much. Good night, all. Good night to the audience.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good night. Buitegunyo. Ayo.
Yo.
Ayo. presentó Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. Es un programa semanal de 7 de la noche a 9 de la noche todos los miércoles a través de www.radiocentroamerica.com en Los Ángeles y www.lmbroots.com radio en Nueva York. Tune in next Wednesday again for Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We're live and direct through www.radiocentroamerica.com and lmbroots.com radio in New York. Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. This is the last song, ladies and gentlemen. La última canción y nos vamos next Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday.